guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a very exciting video, which is in collab with two of my besties here on BookTube, and that is Tori from Novel Life and Sam from Sam Reads a Little. We are sharing some single parent romances, which I personally love. I just really love the kids in these books and how adorable they are and how they really connect with the love interest, because it's not just the love interest you are trying to win over, you have to really connect with their kid too. And so I have a lot here, ranging from maybe it's a second chance and it's like their kid together, or they are young, there are multiple kids, whatever it be. I have lots here and I will go ahead and get to them. So the first one I read last week and I am absolutely obsessed with, and the author actually sent me a copy of this and it just came in the mail today, the day I'm filming this, so perfect timing. That is Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. I love this book so much. It was just so cozy. I don't know how, I feel like I need to do a video about just cozy romances. They just make me feel so good. And this one, our heroine's a comedian, and she met our hero a couple years ago, and he is her manager now, and he used to be a famous comedian. Now he just like is more behind the scenes and writes stuff, and he manages her, and she is trying to like break through into the scene, and she gets a chance to be on tour with two really famous comedians, and they say that they want to drum up attention for their tour, and they're like, and people really love our love lives, because one of them I think is dating a professional athlete, the other one's dating someone else, and they're like, you need to date someone so we can get some attention. And they propose her manager because he used to be a famous comedian, and he's a single dad. And the minute the heroine met his daughter back when they first met a few years ago, it was amazing how much they bonded and connected. The heroine knows ASL and the hero's daughter is deaf, and so she just was able to communicate with her, joke with her, won her over right away, and it was just so adorable. And I love how important the daughter is in this book. There is an age gap as well between them. I think it's like 10 years. It's so good. This book was so good, and the fake dating was so good, and he has been pining, and we do flashbacks of them towing the line of being friends and wanting more but not going enough towards that, and it was just so good. So good. I'm obsessed with this book. Please read it. One you're probably really annoyed with everybody talking about, but that is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Please read this book. I know I had it in a recommendation video either last week or the week before, but I cannot stop thinking about this book. It is single dad, nanny, age gap, small town, cowboy, literally everything romance, and it is so good. It's a little bit like he does not want to like her, so I don't know if I'd say it's hate to love, but he's very like, stop coming near me. I don't want to see you because I'm so attracted to you kind of thing. He's so grumpy. It's Grump Sunshine too, like all the tropes mashed into one, and the son in here was absolutely adorable. He's so funny. The heroine gets along so well with him. The hero is a single dad farmer. He is just sick and tired of everybody in town and doesn't think anybody would be a good nanny for his son, and so the heroine for book one is married or engaged to his brother and is like, I have someone, my friend's gonna do it, you can't say no. And that's our heroine, and she is such a fun character. She really puts the hero in his place, but not in an annoying way, in a you're not gonna be rude to me way, and you need to be a better person way, and I just love that so much. And this book was everything. Like, the hero was a cowboy, and so he wanted to like do competitions, and she really pushed him to do what he loves, and it was amazing. It was so good. Oh my gosh. It was like very, not slow burn, because there was like intense physical attraction between them, and you could just feel it, and it was just palpable, and you're like, get together already, and it was just so good. It was so good. I loved it. Please read this book. And then we have a neighbor romance, which is Ignite. Our hero is a firefighter, and he has two daughters, and he is one night, like, I think the heroine's fire alarm goes off, and it's so funny what happens. This is like a really fun single dad romance, and the heroine lives next door to him. It's super cute. That's really all I can say about this book. I don't want to spoil anything else, but if you like a firefighter hero, and it's also an age gap as well because she is a bit younger than him, with the forced proximity being neighbors, pick this one up. Okay, so I also kind of have a thing for secret baby. I don't like surprise pregnancy. Like, I do not care when the heroine's pregnant and like they're like, oh my gosh, should we stay together? I don't know. This is when they've already broken up and they were like hiding a baby from them, and then they're reconnected years later and they're like, you have my child? I'm sorry. And the first one's Tattered by Debney Perry. The hero and heroine have a one-night stand, and so it's not like the heroine purposefully hid the baby. She literally could not find him. And so years later, he's back in town and he meets her and he's like, how old is your child? And they reconnect. And a lot of this was actually him trying to win over her child, and he's very rich, like he's very, very wealthy, and the daughter is like, you're not gonna buy my love. And she's like, I don't want to move. I don't want to like have this like weird life. Like I like my small town life. I like my mom. I like my friends. And so it was really refreshing in that sense, and they had to reconnect as well, and it was really good. Of course they had intense chemistry because they like hooked up before and they had a really good time, but they have a lot to deal with, and I really enjoyed this one. The other secret baby is Bloody Heart by Sophie Lark. This one is so good. I think this is the only single parent one in this series, and it's only single parent like later on in the book, so that we see them falling in love and then we see them getting ripped apart, and this is a second chance romance, and then years pass and he realizes he has a child. And I really loved our heroine because she makes a name for herself. She ends up being a really famous model, and she has tried to protect her daughter fiercely because she knows that he is not in a good line of work and he's in the mafia, and these are mafia romances. But I really enjoyed how they met and how they fell head over heels for each other, but how they got just torn apart, and it was so heartbreaking. I really felt their romance. They truly loved each other, but just life would not let them be together. And then he was really hardened afterwards and went into the military and is just a different person, but not in a bad way. And they reconnect and he's like, that's my daughter, and it's really good. One of my favorites in the series. Definitely check this one out. Then one that I know is going to be on at least Tori's video is Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. This is so different because this is actually a single parent romance to like a newborn child, and the heroine is on the run. She is starting over in a new town, so she is living in the like garage apartment of the hero. He's very grumpy, he's a chef, and she's working at the same restaurant that his family owns, and it's really hard on her though because she has no money and she is taking care of a newborn baby who is hard to take care of. I mean, like it's really hard to single parent, especially if it's a baby, and she just feels like on the verge of a breakdown, and the hero's walls slowly come down and they start spending time together. She is also very, very cautious of how she talks about her past and who she tells it to, and it's just interesting watching that unfold and learning like who was the father of her baby, what happened there, and it's really heartbreaking. And this was such an emotional romance and I loved it so much. Definitely one of my favorites in the series, though I really love Garnet Flats as well, book 3. The whole series is great, but books 2 and 3 are on another level. I love it. It was so good. Then we have the Varsity Dad Dilemma by Lex Martin, which is a baby romance. Our heroine lives across the street from her brother. Her and her brother do not really get along very well because their parents passed away. Her brother was adopted by their uncle, but then the uncle didn't want her, so she ended up going to foster care. So she hasn't really seen her brother a lot, but they go to the same college and her brother's on the football team. She's living across the street, and one of the guys there she has history with because they were kind of on the verge of dating freshman year, and then he pretty much like ghosted her and blew her off. So she hates him, and a baby is left on the guy's doorstep. The note left is not really legible. They don't know who the baby father is, so they all have to take care of this baby while figuring out the paternity test. And she really steps up and says, you guys are clueless college football players, like let me come over and help. And so she really steps up and helps them, and the hero is like, this can't be my baby. I cannot afford that. I need to focus on school and football, and he is helping raise this baby, and she is too. And I don't want to spoil if it's his or not, but it does have to do with them taking care of a child together, and I just really enjoyed it. I love Lex Martin. It's a really great college romance about a football player, and it's kind of second chance and brother's best friend, and it was really good. Then I have Wrecked Palace by Catherine Cowles. I'm recommending this series. So her Tattered and Torn series has one, but I feel like not enough people read this series. So the heroine is taking care of her siblings. Her parents passed away. She was off at college living life, and then she has to come home now and take care of her siblings. And the hero is really wealthy, and he is hiding a past though, and he's very closed off to people because he does not trust people because of his past, and like reporters trying to figure out about his past. And the heroine works at this grocery store like as a cook, and he comes by and is like, I need a personal chef, let me pay you. And he's really trying to help her out because he really likes her, so he hires her and pays her way too much money than she should be paid for that job. And he really cares about her and like invites her siblings over, and they end up falling in love with each other. It takes place on an island, very small town, very sweet, sweet romance. Catherine Cowles writes the sweetest heroes who just want to take care of the heroine, and I love that trope so much. So this one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked how he just wanted to help her out and they fell in love in the process. This whole series is great. Please check it out. I was incorrect to just check my review. Her parents are in prison. They're not dead, they're in prison, so she had to take over them, but either way, single parent. And the last one I have is really fun too because the children are teenagers and they're a lot older, and that is The Takeover by T.L. Swan. This one one. Tristan Miles is literally obsessed with the heroine. So they meet at a conference and he is smitten. He's younger and he's like, you are the woman I want, but he has no idea she has kids, and he shows up after the conference after they spent a whirlwind time abroad together too, because he's like, I'm obsessed and I need you. He ends up showing up and realizes she has a very, very chaotic life as a single mom to 3 boys, and one of them is like a demon child. He will make it his life goal to ruin Tristan's life, and it is hilarious, their banter and the games they play with each other and how Tristan is like game on to that little kid. It kind of scares Tristan off a little bit, but then he is like, no, I'm in love with this woman and I want her in my life, and he has to really win the sons over, and it's so interesting. But she is still grieving her dead husband, and she's trying to run his business that's really falling apart that Tristan tried to buy from her before they got together, and it's really, really good. It's really sweet, definitely very emotional, and there's a lot of layers to this. I really loved it. I just loved how important her sons were to the storyline because of their ages, and it was really great. I really loved it. Please read this if you haven't yet. I know it's very popular, but like, read it if you haven't yet. And those are the single parent romances I think you need to read. Let me know if you have any other recommendations. I think I've done this video before, so I can leave those linked down below. I apologize if I've overlapped any. I don't remember when I last did this video, but definitely check those out. Definitely make sure you check out Tori and Sam's video as well. I cannot wait for more recommendations from them. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.